And we're back. Woo! I love it. Lakers win on the last second shot by Austin Reaves. This is Gerald Glassford coming right back at you here for the Lakers Fast Break. Pop Culture Cosmos, where we cover the latest news and trends in pop culture each and every week, twice a week, wherever you get your podcasts. On the latest upcoming Pop Culture Cosmos, it's a state of pro wrestling as John Orlando and I got back into the ring where we talk about who's the most underrated and overrated right now in AEW and WWE, and what is the legacy of John Cena plus our Survivor Series memories and more. So go ahead and check it out right now on YouTube at Pop Culture Cosmos, or this coming weekend, right wherever you get your podcasts. Also, as well, want to go ahead and give a big shout out to Yaron Weitzman. Remember, his book is now available. It is the #1 sports book right there on Amazon. It's the #1 best-selling book right there for sports anywhere. And that is A Hollywood Ending, The Dreams and Drama of the LeBron Lakers. It is by Yaron Weitzman. I have an interview on this channel with him, so check it out. But go ahead and get this book. I really, really had a good time reading this book. It's the book that the Lakers do not want you to read because they threatened legal action on him, never went through with it, but it's there for you. A Hollywood Ending, The Dreams and Drama of the LeBron Lakers by Yaron Weitzman. Pick it up today wherever you get your books. Also, as well, I cannot go without saying my good friend Drip Show right there. Look at that. Look at that. You know what? Kobe smiling from up above and Luka smiling from the injured list. His finger less swelling. It's now down to 1.5 times the normal size of his finger. So that's good news. It's maybe sooner rather than later. We'll see him. JJ said maybe a couple games. We'll have to wait and see. But they're both smiling on Austin Reaves tonight. Go ahead and take a look right there. Awesome canvas art made by my good friend Drip Show at Drip Show Shop on Instagram and Twitter. And don't forget this pillow right here. Kobe and Gigi smiling from up above down on Austin Reaves. That beautiful pillow right there made by at Drip Show Shop on Instagram and Twitter. If you have an idea or a concept you want to form of a t-shirt, hat, pillow, canvas art, or something else, follow at Drip Show Shop on YouTube, Instagram, and Twitter. Send them a note on what you're thinking of, or maybe for a gift out there for someone you love or care about for this upcoming holiday, because it's right around the corner. So go ahead and check out at Drip Show Shop on Instagram and Twitter today. Rough Artist says, at Drip Show, I want AR whole. Rough, go to at Drip Show Shop on Instagram and Twitter. Tell him what you need. Message him. He'll let you know what he can do. And I tell you what, the craftsmanship and the work on it is simply outstanding. And John Costin's sending up here in a few minutes. He'll join me here. But what a game. What a game. The Lakers come into tonight. Still the walking wounded. We only got Jackson Hayes back into the lineup as far as the rotation is concerned. But the Lakers, for the first 3.5 quarters, looked like a team that was going to have an easy time of it against the Anthony Edwards-less Minnesota Timberwolves. Dominating at both ends of the floor, playing inspired defense, playing smart offense, passing the ball around, sharing the ball, looked really good. At times, we were really, really flowing in the offense. Rui, really solid out there. DeAndre Ayton, another solid game from him. But it was also Jake LaRavia coming alive with a 17-point third quarter. And Dalton Connect finally had the game we've been waiting for a long time. Still didn't hit well from three, but overall 7 of 12 from him. Let me run down the numbers for you. A solid 17 points for Rui Hachimura, 7 of 14 for him. Jake LaRavia, 27 points, 8 rebounds, one of the best games of his career. DeAndre Ayton, 17 and 10 there for you. And then also as well, Mr. Austin Reaves, 28 points, 16 assists. Now the Lakers in the fourth quarter, I believe, were up by as many as 20 early in the fourth quarter, but you can see, just like in Portland in the third quarter, they started to run out of a little steam, started to run out of a little gas. Again, the issues as far as the bench, the issues as far as not having enough players to go ahead and help them out, relying so much on Austin Reaves, 40 minutes tonight, DeAndre Ayton, 35, Jake LaRavia, 37, and Rui Hashimura, 37, and Dalton Connect with 36 himself. 12 rebounds for Jared Vanderbilt, but it didn't seem like it was going to be enough as they let the lead get closer and closer and closer. And in the final minute, Julius Randle put the Minnesota Timberwolves ahead by 1, but with 6 seconds left, Austin Reaves, the guy who is looking for cha-ching, and Tough said it best right after the shot was made. AR's agent just called and just asked for $3 more million.
All right.
Right there, as far as that's concerned, with his offer. But Austin Reaves hit a clutch shot with 0 on the clock, and the Lakers win 116-115 to go to 3-2 on the season. No, Joker, you said you weren't going to be here. I am glad you're here, and thank you so much. Very kind of you for the super chat. Who is him? Well, right now, you got to say Austin Reaves is him indeed. But here today, to go ahead and discuss today's game is a good man indeed. You got to go ahead and check him out as our social media guru here for the Lakers Fast Break, and of course his channel, Lakers Corner, right there for you on whatever platform that you like. He is there.
Yes,
it is, of course, Mr. John Costa. John, great to have you here. I was trying to find you. I was getting you a VIP when you were there. You like poked your head in. Oh yeah, see what's going on. Then you disappeared. I think to your own channel.
yes.
But I was just like, where is he at? Oh, he's gone. He's gone. Just a great game for 3.5 quarters. Great performance by the team. You can see that Minnesota is really going to be in flux right now. They're going through what we're going through without Luka and LeBron. It's a big deal not having their premier player, Anthony Edwards, in the lineup. They came back and actually pulled ahead, but they just did not have an answer for Austin Reaves when it mattered the most tonight, John.
Man, Gerald, this was honestly, in my opinion, the game of the year. And yes, Gerald, that's exactly what happened. I was in there for a second because I went to the bathroom to go take a piss, and then I didn't have my computer with me, so I just was watching playback on my phone while I was doing that. But then I came back, I was back on my playback. But anyway, Gerald, oh my goodness, talk about the game of the year, Gerald. Game of the year, right? We see the best performance from Jake. Where has this Jake been? Like, not even just making shots wise, confidence wise. Where has this Jake been? Nowhere to be found, right?
They said you hated him on playback. And I said, well,
they said I hated him.
Yes.
I mean, I'll be honest. Look, I even told you, Gerald, I had a conversation with you. I went on my week 1 show, right? And I was talking about, look, I understand and I see the vision as to why we brought in Marcus Smart. I understand. I see the vision as to why we brought in DeAndre Ayton. I don't see the vision as to why we brought in Jake. Besides that's Austin Reaves' boy. But if this how you could play Jake, because see, look, I'm not even talking about the fact of like, oh, he had a big game. He had this in him, but I'm talking about the way he was playing. The way he was playing this game versus the way he's been playing the last 2 games is just 2 totally different players. We're talking about confidence-wise. We're talking about him putting the ball on the ground. We're talking about him shooting confidently. We weren't seeing any of this. So, man, if this is what Jake's on, then I understand why we're bringing him. Now, I know he's not going to give us this every night, but if he can just play this confident every night, shoot this confident, put the ball on the ground. You see that Euro step he had to the hoop? He beat somebody baseline, Euro step, and then finished. I was like, Jake, you weren't even shooting off the dribble jumper in the last 2 games. Now you're Euro stepping through the lane. Yeah. I'm so ecstatic about this game, to be honest, Gerald, as you can see. And like how Intel Wild said, man, it's getting hard to not give Austin Reaves what he wants. It really is. It really is, Gerald. It's like 51, and big shout out to Joe. Joe put this in my playback little chat. 51-41 game winner. Come on, man. Come on,
I'll just say this, Intel Wild, and also as well Nick T. And also as well, of course, very generous from No Joker as well. Truly appreciate the super chats. Intel Wild says, give that man his 30 million a year. He's proven he's that guy. Uh, Intel. If you're still here in Vegas or not, hit me up, man. If you still want to go ahead and meet, I will say this: he's not going to ask for $30 million. $30 million undercutting at this point. Again, we talked about it on the game during the game. If I was his agent, at this rate, if it continues that way, even if LeBron and Luka come back, you can see what he does as the man or the head of your team, and what he does as the leader of your team when he's forced in those type of situations. If he averages 22, 6-6 on the season and has a decent playoffs, he's asking for 40, 45 million. So then you got to ask yourself, what is your future going to be like then? But these are good problems to have if he continues to play like this at this level, John. It's really good problems to have. And I understand we'll go ahead and as far as Nick T's comment, with the rest of the players that played a majority of the minutes giving you great effort today, it was good to see. Can we see it consistently? Because we didn't see it consistently against Portland. This is Dalton's. We asked for Dalton's coming out party. He only got his, those points, whatever he scored on the previous game in Portland were in garbage time, but those may have given him some confidence and took it over today. And Jake LaRavia was 17 points in the third quarter. These guys have to do it consistently. It's this one game. Let's focus on this game. This is one game, and it's a great effort by the rest of his Austin's teammates as well. Absolutely. But again, this team's depth should still scare you, because if they don't start doing this every single game, it could be a problem for the Lakers. But today, they gave it to you. Vanderbilt rebounded and played pretty good defense. Dalton played the best defense he's ever played in any NBA game with 2 block shots, and also outside of the three-pointers. He knew he wasn't hitting. He knew he still can't hit from three-point line, so he found other ways to score the basketball, which is very pleasing to see. And then, of course, Jake's coming out party today. The question is, John, can they continue to provide the kind of depth and the kind of quality bench play that this team sorely needs? It was one of the worst benches in the league last year. It has to turn around if the Lakers are going to go anywhere this season.
It absolutely does have to turn around, Gerald. And just want to say what's up to everybody here in the chat. The first time I had to come on the mic, it was a hot mic. I had to just talk. It was craziness. So let me say what's up to everybody here in the chat. I seen Sports Baby say what's up, and Nick T and everybody, Serge. Good to see everybody. Appreciate everybody being here. But anyway, Gerald, yeah, I mean we are going to need a bench. And that's what I'm saying, right? So like,
and Bronny only gave us 4 minutes tonight, which is a big bonus.
which is a bonus. Which is
the less the better. Yes.
Which is
there you go, Martin. That was for you, my friend.
And big shout out to Mark. Mark is my dog. Mark, you need to come on here, Mark. I haven't seen you in way too long. Come on, man. I know it's his work day, so today is his Thursday. So work day. Okay, all good, Mark. Yeah. But man, no, Gerald, to your point, right? We absolutely are going to need a bench. And of course, we can't expect Jake to go for what? I think he finished with 27 tonight, right? We can't expect Jake to finish with 27.
No, but I said 12 a day. If he can average 12.
That's exactly what I'm going to say, right?
If Dalton can average 10, if these guys can just, instead of the close to 20 points a game, 22, 23 points a game that they averaged, or 25, whatever they averaged last year, if they can get you closer to 35, 40, those are the kind of things that really lift and help a team. Plus, it gives less minutes for these guys, because you saw JJ really smoke and mirrors as it went on in the fourth quarter. The Lakers ran out of gas. They ran out, just like they did in Portland in the third quarter. They ran out of gas. They lost steam. Minnesota came back because they did not have the energy. And JJ, smoke and mirrors, did not have many options. Now, should he have spaced his times out? You could criticize or go after JJ for whatever you want as far as they're concerned. But again, he just doesn't have a whole lot of options. But today, they found it from the 6 guys that played the majority of the minutes today. I'm hoping they can build on this in the future. As Intel Wild said in the super chat again, Austin did have 16 assists as well. He hopefully I will see you when you come back in February, my friend of Vegas. But yes, a great game by Austin. It wasn't they didn't need the 40 points today from Austin. They needed a leader today, and that's what they got.
Yeah, and that's how you can define a good player from a great player. You know what your team needs on that certain night. If your team needs you to make more, make. If your team needs you to just go score and carry with a load of 51 and 41, like how he was doing, go do that. But if you need to be that leader, he was doing that. And he was instilling confidence in his guys. 16 assists, and then also want to highlight somebody's comment here. Exo Ishan or something like that. I don't know how to pronounce his name, but AR is the hillbilly version of SGA now. Honestly, I wouldn't say that at all. I wouldn't.
He gets a lot of free throws.
He gets a lot of free throws, but look though, you cannot complain about him. And I'm not talking to you, Gerald, because I know you're not complaining. I'm saying to the general public, y'all can't complain about him getting free throws and then have your hand in the cookie jar. He's just really good, and he's figured out a way to punish players if they have their hand in the cookie jar. You don't want to get punished? Play defense with your hands behind your back. Any good basketball player will tell you if you can't play defense with your hand behind your back, you really actually can't guard the player. So if you can't guard them and you got to use your hands, now you're mad at me because Austin Reaves is taking advantage of that. Come on now. So I disagree with that comment. But just wanted to go ahead and add that right there.
He does a large portion of his points will come from the free throw line. SGA, same thing. Harden, Trae Young. A lot of these guys that really know how to work the system until the refs figure out another way to, or just let things go a little bit more. Maybe again, as I talked about on NBA Observations with Caleb Ponce earlier this week, right now, like we did last season, we're seeing a lot of these guys, the scoring is up and a lot of these guys are getting a ton of free throws. In January, I believe it was, the refs, they got together during an off period and they decided that they would go ahead and let a little bit more go. So some of these guys that were feasting on it couldn't do as much. So we will probably see regression to the mean a little bit when it comes to these free throws. I don't know when that will be this season, but there will be sometime this season where they will say, hey, they're just getting too many free guys like Reaves and SGA when are getting too many free throws, and they're going to probably curtail on that a little bit. But until that point comes, and Luka as well, we're just taking advantage of it. And I think that he has become a very crafty player, and 30 million might be a bargain if you're able to sign him for that. Intel Wild, appreciate the super chat as well. Look at daddy and daughter right there for you. AD must have gotten hurt tonight, only played 7 minutes and 4 points. He came in today with Achilles tendonitis. Let me go ahead and I'll let you go. He's hugging his daughter tonight. Good night. So I do want to say that again with AD, it was Achilles tendonitis. I think he left with, and I guess the pain was just a little bit too much for him. Street clothes, AD. What are you going to say? What are you going to say indeed, my friend? But great to have you here, John. Once again, the Lakers, they win 116-115. They're now 3-2 on the season. John, I said this because we got the news earlier today from JJ Redick that Luka, his finger is now no longer 2 times the normal size. It is now down to 1.5. So he may be able to get, well, I've had that before. Again, I tore up my thumb after playing basketball one day, and it just 3 times to what it normally was. It was absolutely huge. So I know where he's at right now, but there is the possibility he can come back in as early as a couple games. It's a possibility, but we'll have to wait and see how that goes. If the Lakers are at 500 by the time Luka gets back, I think that's a win for the Lakers going forward.
Absolutely, man. If we can give Luka a team that's 500, I think that exceeds our expectations, or at least it exceeds my expectations. So, 100%. If we can be at 500 and get Luka back, we're in great position. We are in great position, which is another reason as to why it's hard to now look for what I guess even to have the thought of getting rid of a Reaves, right? Like even have a thought, like if it wasn't for Reaves, Gerald, we would not have won these games. 51-41 game winner, right? So to even think of the thought of not having a player like that there is like, damn. And I know, in a trade, you're bringing back somebody else, but I say this all the time when I talk about like Reaves with trades. It's like I just don't see too many players around the league because I think the value he actually has is not what his trade value is perceived around the league, and it might start getting there if he keeps playing like this. But real quick, Gerald, I want to talk about this comment. Somebody said I really like this comment. I see where it is. I miss where it is now, but somebody said, "Oh, is it crazy to think Reaves is better than Manu Ginobili, or am I just having recency bias?" That's actually a really good question. I'll be honest, that's a really good question. Gerald, what do you think?
Not there yet.
Not there yet.
I know that Joe has equated him to Mono in the past. Mono's a Hall of Famer, and Mono decided to go ahead with San Antonio. He could have been a starter on any other team in the NBA, but he decided to stay with San Antonio because he pledged himself to a larger deal with winning. And obviously, he was the benefactor for it with several championships plus a Hall of Fame career for him. I would not put him in that realm yet. We want to see how it translates itself over the course of time. He is 28, guys. I know that we had this discussion again on playback about how, he'll probably sign for less. The Lakers. Don't take it for granted. This guy already took a discount once to sign with the Lakers. He is 28 years old, playing the best basketball of his life. He will be no more valuable ever in his entire life than what he will be at this rate going into the summer of 2026. If I'm his agent, I would say you have to be stupid not to ask for 40, 45 million from teams, because there are teams, John, that are going to have cap space this summer. And he and Trae Young right now are the leading candidates for free agency. There's not a whole lot after that. It's not 2027 where Giannis, potentially Jokic, although I don't think that'll happen, and others, big stars, will be free in 2027. Right now, it is just him and Trae right now, as far as at the top of the food chain in free agency with available teams with available cap space. So again, I'm just saying right now, he is playing at elite level for him at just the right time, John.
Absolutely, man. I mean,
if you and I, if we're his team, we're his financial team, what are you saying to him?
No,
what are you telling him?
His financial team gets paid. So like, his financial team's going to get paid more if he goes and gets paid. So absolutely. They're going to be pushing for him to, at least for him to see the numbers. Cause a player like that, just even see, what he can get out there.
And then another guy who's also could be getting some dollars. We talked about him before. DeAndre Ayton came up with another solid performance tonight. 17 and 10. That's what I said during before we started the season. If we could get 15 or 17 and 10 from him, that's exactly what we need, and that's exactly what will keep him in the league as a starter going forward, John.
Yeah. Hold on. Search said unless you can get a cold ass swing from, but see though, that's the thing though, Search. I don't think that there's any, unless y'all can give me a name right now. I don't think that there's any cold ass swing that we can get in return that actually can do what Austin's actually doing. To be honest with you, hey, there he is with the dope ass jacket. I love that jacket, dude. I need to give me one of those. I've been telling myself I'm gonna order one of those, and I ain't did it. I need to do it.
I got to rep for my Atlanta Dreams.
Come on, man. Come on. I gotta.
And the Lakers give Austin $40 million and still get a 2. That's the thing. That's what you have to ask yourself, Ari. I mean, there's a lot of questions because it's a good problem to have because, John and Legend, you have a player playing at such a elite level for himself, and it's coming at the right time for him, but it doesn't make the job for Rob Pelinka to build a team around Luka any easier by doing so, John, unless you're figuring him in the long term as your long-term solution to play alongside Luka, John.
Yeah, I mean I think the long-term solution next to Luka should preferably be an active, good defender, right, to put next to him. But who can we find, right? Bless you. I don't know if that was a sneeze, legend, but who can we find that is going to, benefit next to Luka, like a defender type guy, but also can provide us the offense that AR. I'll tell you who. Nobody. Like, unless we're going to find somebody, unless we get an unrealistic trade or unrealistic, player back. But I want to let Legend get his thoughts off here. Talk to us, Legend. How you feeling?
Also here today, good man indeed. It is Legend from I Got Next Sports Media. Great to have you here, my friend. Your thoughts on today's game? I mean, from an outsider's perspective, someone who's not a Lakers fan, but gives us always great insight. What do you see as far as him playing at this level right now? I mean, you have also a situation with your team in Atlanta that is similar, because you've got Trae Young that also could be available as a free agent. What do you see from Austin Reaves right now?
He's playing, he's stepping up, he's taking over the mantle, he's leading the ship right now. And I give him a lot of credit. He could have sat here and struggled, but he sat there and said, you know what, Luka, LeBron, I got it. Take your time. Y'all follow my lead. And he's been doing it. And you got to give him a lot of credit. Now, just do that in the playoff, though. That's all I ask now. Just do it when it matters a little bit more. But he's doing what you need right now. And you got to give him that much credit. He's playing like a man who wants to get paid this offseason.
He is playing like a man that wants to get paid. Indeed, my friend, you said it best right there. And it's going to be hard at this rate. Even when LeBron and Luka come back, if he's still averaging 22 to 24 and getting you 22, 23, 6 and 6, those are great numbers that I think a lot of people would be very impressed with indeed. But also here today, good man indeed. I know he did not have the best of days as the Dodgers lose and now are heading back to Toronto, down 3-2. But I'm hoping that they'll still be able to pull it out. It is Joe Soro who got uplifted by the last second shot with Austin Reaves. You said you were on Lakers Corner on playback when you were watching it. Your thoughts on Austin Reaves? We all knew the ball was going to him. The fact that he got it done without having to go ahead to win at the foul line was truly quite impressive.
LaRavia's inbound, the moment he bounced past it and it got to Reaves, it immediately gave me a good feeling. It was the first inbound pass that I can remember where it actually went fundamentally well. And then DeAndre Ayton set a perfect pick, and Austin pounced on Gobert, shifting to the right. So you're going to probably see awful, what's his name, point that out in his next video. Awful coaching, yeah.
Hilarious.
I mean, Gobert, I know if he was ever a Laker, he'd be the doghouse guy for Laker fans, because the things that guy does absolutely would frustrate the Pope. So as soon as AR got room, I'm like, before he even shot it, I go, game over. Now, obviously, I wasn't live anywhere. If you had seen me live, I literally said this game is over. He's going to float it. It's going to go in. So watching the game, I ended up watching the game because I couldn't stand watching the Dodger game after about 5 innings. Started watching the game and just enjoyed Lake Show 90s basketball is what that was tonight. They played their rear ends off. And I've been really starting to really try to train myself into not being negative over everything in terms of players. There are some players that I don't want in there, obviously, but those are the drastic areas. But I was very, very happy that Dalton Connect wasn't hitting shots yet. He hit 6 or 7 inside the 3 area. Yeah. To me,
He's
that
still not
shows
working from the outside, but that he made the decision to go and take the ball to the basket more often was really good, Joe.
Yes, it was. That to me is the first sign of basketball IQ. Something that's not happening, something that's not working, you adjust to something else. So Austin Reaves, for those who don't know, dropped 16 dimes tonight after all that too, because they were obviously shifting to him more and guarding him a little bit more aggressively in certain spots during the game, and he made them pay. And Rui hit shots. Laravia hit shots. Now, Laravia is someone that this is not something that just this isn't something because he had a good game tonight. Laravia was a wild card X factor before the season even started. Someone had mentioned this. I can't take credit for it. I think it might have been Empire Jeff and then somebody else as well. They had mentioned getting someone like Laravia at this time, you might luck in that he goes to the next level at the perfect time for you. Was it you? Okay, so Gerald Glassford called that one. Gerald Glassford said Laravia may be an acquisition that lines up right as he kind of takes the next step. And it's not just the shots. By the way, he missed one shot tonight. He hit 12. He took 12, by the way. That, I know it's weird to say this, but that bounce pass on the inbound was perfect. I know it sounds kind of weird to say that, but I hadn't seen an inbound pass that smooth in so long. And it took Mr. Laravia, I was calling him three Ravia. I know it's a tongue twister, but it's easier to type it. But he may be that guy where over the next 20, 30, 50 games where he starts to get into his zone, and it might be the right timing for him to do well. Now, Austin, I've been begging. I gave him a couple more weeks, even though I wanted to give him really a month, maybe even 2 months, because at this point, with the money he's making, who gives a crap, right? Like, it's not worth really trading him unless it's in a package for someone really talented. Come on, Dalton. Got to get this thing going, man. If you can just play just a little bit, just make a couple shots a game, man, this year. It will help. He will take some time to maybe get to that point. Austin is phenomenal. And the benefit in this, I'm trying not to look at the future right now in terms of the summer. Forget about the money right now. Okay, he's going to get paid. He's going to get paid either way. And I'm going to let Mark Walter and the Guggenheims decide on how they approach that. I think they're going to re-sign him regardless. I just don't know for how much yet. We won't know until the end of the year because the playoff play is going to make a difference. But what we can depend on in the regular season is that Austin needs to take a lot of minutes away from LeBron. He's got to do – this has shown that he can do this. Please – use this moment to lessen LeBron's load. Austin's got all the motivation. You can see it. And thank God DeAndre Ayton's coming into his own as well. And then if you got the Laravias and the Connects doing what they're doing, and props to Nick Smith, by the way, man, he held the fort as much as he could. He had some really good shots in there that actually, even the nice plays at the free, to get him to the free throw line, those are really, really good. Really good basketball for a two-way guy. The team played well. The team was playing their rear ends off. Playing in Minnesota is always a weird place to play. It's not a really fun place to be in, and it's definitely not a fun place to be in this late. Okay, Minnesota should have never been in the Western Conference, but circumstances said that was the only way it was going to work back when they were an expansion team in '88. But playing Minnesota on the road on a normal time is dumb. You're playing 3 hours. Is it 2 hours or 3? I always forget Minnesota.
I think it's 3.
Is it 3? Yeah, 3. So
Are
they
on EST? No, I think it's 2.
Is it?
I think it's 2.
Is it 2? Okay, so they started playing at 8:30. Well, technically 8:42, and that always kind of throws things off, especially when Minnesota has a good team. So I had predicted if Luka was going to come back next Monday, let's say, I was predicting if they could go 2-2 the rest of the way this week, that would be a success. I thought they were going to win, and I thought they were going to beat Portland at home, and I thought they'd lose this game. So they kind of flip-flopped that. And then now they're going to play Memphis on Friday. So, again, that if they lose it, then it kind of goes in with what I was hoping it would be. But maybe they bring what they brought tonight and win that game too. But I was very, very proud of them, and I've been trying to. Again, I'm trying not to be. Today was a terrible. This last 2 days were terrible in terms of sports, other than the Lakers, because I thought for sure they were going to take at least one of these two games in LA with the Dodgers and then have Yamamoto in Game 6. It's not. They're I think they're juiced out. I think their offense is gone, and I don't think it's going to show up. They may be able to eke away a win in Game 6 if Yamamoto has a Game 2 performance, but the problem is Game 7. How do you win Game 7 with all the momentum really on their side? And Glasnow is not known to be a guy that's going to go beyond 6 really, and their bullpen is an absolute disaster. They cannot. I don't know what happened. I don't know how the hell they did what they did in Game 3, but I'm not expecting them to be anywhere near that here the rest of the way. And that's what it's been the last 2 days.
Joe. I'm sorry about that, brother. But I'm sure you had a good time when that game went to like 18 innings and you guys won. So
I lost at least a month of life. I wasted my life on that game.
Honestly, I'm sure you did, right? Because you stayed up so late.
No, it's my heart.
Oh, your heart.
My heartbeat. Okay. Yeah, I don't stress. Maybe there's a balancing of it because I don't really stress in my normal life. Mm-hmm. I get my stresses from sports. I don't get my stress from life. So maybe there's a balance there. But I was pissed at myself.
Why?
Because what the hell am I doing killing myself over a stupid game?
Yeah, and it's baseball. It's not like it's
basketball. Baseball is the worst sport to do it in because it's so random.
Yeah, fuck.
In basketball, you don't. When Kobe would get the ball, when Michael would get the ball, when LeBron would get the ball, it's like those guys aren't playing every 9 at bats or pitching every 5 days. Michael, give the ball to Mike, and then because I've been hearing a lot of Shohei Ohtani and Tiger Woods and I've been hearing a lot of Michael Jordan, Tiger Woods, Babe Ruth. Obviously, no one saw him play really. But Michael Jordan, Tiger Woods, and Tom Brady, that's what it's been, right? And I have to remind people, I go, with Tiger and Michael, they don't leave the court or the course. Brady, when he lost 3 of his Super Bowls, he was not on the field. So, that's even in football, a little bit, you can neutralize even the greatest of all time. Because if he's not on the field, you can neutralize him, right? In baseball, it's even worse. Like if you only have one chance every 9 at bats, you have one chance every 3 or 4, every 3 innings, really. So it's hard to kind of put somebody, even though they're great in that category. But I don't know. There's weirder things that have happened in baseball. I saw 2 series in a short amount of time where I saw every road team win a game. I also saw a lot of game winners, walk-offs. I saw Joe Carter's walk-off coincidentally with Toronto in '93. So I guess it's not done until it's done, but I just don't think that Dodgers offense is – I think they're dead, and the season needs to just stop and just let it be.
Well,
go ahead, Joe.
No, go ahead, Joe.
I was going to say, once again, the Lakers win 116-115, trying to brighten up the crowd after facing the realization of what the Dodgers have left for them. John, before I get it over to Legend to talk about the Timberwolves from their side of the aspect without having Anthony Edwards in there, I wanted to ask about your thoughts on J.J. Redick, because, again, that's 2 games in a row where they faded really hard because the Lakers – in the third quarter against Portland, that was it. They faded halfway through the third quarter, and that was all she wrote for there. At this time, the Lakers had a 20-point lead early in the fourth quarter, I believe, and you could just see it, just the energy that they had just said, okay, we're at our limit, and we can't give you much more than that. as a coach, do you think there's anything JJ can approach it differently to maybe try to offset that run? Because you can see it shrinking and the momentum just going completely on the side of Minnesota, getting closer until finally, with a minute left or 40 seconds left, they took the lead. Is there any way left or anything that JJ you could have thought maybe done differently to try and maybe ease that lead a little bit so that the Lakers would have been able to pad it a little bit more?
I mean, to be fair, Luka and LeBron weren't playing, right? So I mean, like that's I feel like is the first thing we have to acknowledge, right? I feel like I don't think those scoring droughts would really happen as much with Luka and LeBron out there, really, because I feel like those scoring droughts happen, Gerald, because we're relying so heavily on Austin Reaves. Like, it's actually crazy. I'm gonna be honest. I even wrote this in my like notes that I do during the game, to be honest with you. In that first half, especially the second half, I'll give us credit. We played a lot better. I have never seen so many NBA players in such a hurry to give up the ball to Austin Reaves. It's like he'd give the ball up, and immediately they're just looking for AR. They're not even thinking of looking to score. They're not even thinking of looking to play make. They're giving it up. AR gives it up. He runs down a couple of down screens, run a couple of cross screens, comes back up, and then all of a sudden immediately got the ball back in his hands. Like they were so heavily reliant on him. And granted, it works sometimes, but over the span of an entire NBA game, you get gassed, you get tired. And if you're one team that's heavily relying on one person to play, make, score, to literally do everything to generate offense, and then you got the other team that's going 11 deep with their bench, or going 10 deep with their bench, whatever. If you have that, I mean, it's only a matter of time that stuff hits the fan and you're just tired. You don't got no legs on your shot while the other team does. So I think that's on that. So I mean, I feel like to your question about JJ, to give him the benefit of the doubt, I really do believe that part of that is because the fatigue, but the other part of that is more on like front office, because we got to be able to build a roster that can compete. We got to build a roster, to your point, Gerald, about having a good bench, right? If we don't have a good bench, which I don't think we have.
They had a great game today. Laravia,
absolutely.
Connect had a great game today. Vando had a great game today. All in support of Austin Reaves and DeAndre.
They were all there today.
Hashimori. Yeah, and also Nick Smith Jr. Can they repeat this performance going forward? Can they use this as a stepping stone? Or are we going to revert back to getting 12 points as a whole from the bench again? That's what I want to see. That's what I want to see going forward, is when Luka comes back, and then LeBron, who they said possibly could come back as early as mid-November. We'll have to wait and see, and hold your breath on that one. I'm just saying that, can we continue to see solid, more consistent performances from the bench going forward, John?
I would say from players like Rui, from players like Ayton, even from players like Jake. Actually, no, I wouldn't say Jake. I'd say just Rui and Ayton. I can't expect it. I really do. I've seen them play at a high level. I've seen them play at a certain level that I'm not going to tolerate any less. Jake is the exact same person, is the exact same thing that you and Joe were saying earlier.
There's a reason why he wasn't your favorite guy for the first games of the
first couple games, because I wasn't seeing it. I wasn't seeing anything. I wasn't seeing him like not even with like DeAndre Ayton. He didn't have a good game, right? The first game, but you were able to at least see okay, I saw him protecting the rim. Okay, I saw some screen and rolls. It'll work out. He just had a bad game. I didn't even see anything from Jake, right? But if he can give us, again, like I stated when I first opened up the show, if he can just give us consistent confidence that he showed tonight, because I'm telling you, y'all, confidence eventually turns into, especially you, an NBA player, these guys are good at basketball. Confidence eventually turns into buckets. But if you coming into every night not believing in yourself, you're not confident, you don't know what's going to happen, you scared to put the ball on the ground because you're scared to make a mistake, the worst thing you could do in basketball is play because you're scared to make a mistake. Don't play like that. Play like, I don't care, I'm going to make all the mistakes in the world. If you play thinking about, I don't want to make any mistakes, that's when you play worse, to be honest with you. So as long as Jay can continue to play with that confidence, I'm not asking him to score 27. I'm not asking him to go 5 of 6 from the 3-point line every night, but I am asking him to play with that confidence. Put the ball on the ground when you need to, get to the hoop when you need to, and shoot with confidence. So
that was the thing. There was a couple times where he made shots, but he hesitated at first, looking to pass first, and then like, just shoot the damn ball.
Just shoot. Believe in yourself. Literally, I'm gonna be honest. One thing that I learned.
I gotta shoot. Okay, right? Yay!
One thing I learned growing up is two things actually. Closed mouths don't get fed, and 2, you miss every shot you don't take. So get that shot up. Continue to get him up, man. So that's what I'll say on that. But with that being said, I am about to hop to do my 3-minute recap. If you guys are still on here after the recap, I will hop back on, but because I'm not even close to tired. I'm still ecstatic. But anyway, I'll do my 3-minute recap. If you guys are back on, we'll hop on. But if you guys want to check me out, please do check out my page on YouTube. It's Lakers Corner. On Instagram, it's Lakers_Corner. We're almost at 8,000. Help me get there. And then TikTok is Lakers Corner 24. And Twitter is the Lakers Corner. But besides that, I appreciate you guys. Legend, great to see you. Joe, great to see you. Joe, I hope things get better for you and your Dodgers. And the Lakers are going to continue to get better because Luke is coming back.
There you go. His fingers, the swelling's going down. It's only 1.5 times larger. There you go.
Appreciate y'all.
All righty.
All right, John.
John Costa, Lakers Corner. Legend, let me get it over to you, Mr. I Got Nick Sports Media. When you shoot 50, 50, and 80, you're going to win games. But today we saw that not having Anthony Edwards, possibly from the defensive end, playing some on Austin Reaves may have gotten away from, although McDaniels is a good defender. What would have been done differently? I mean, again, 50 overall from the field, 50 from behind the arc, and 80% for the free throw line for Minnesota. Those numbers usually will translate into victories for your team, but you could just see and you could just sense that they're still trying to find something when you don't have your star player in Anthony Edwards. Legend.
You can definitely tell that not having Anthony Edwards does change the whole entire thing. You can tell they were still trying to figure out how to run some stuff without his presence being there. And you can tell it. You can actually watch the game in sense. Yeah, you can tell Ant's not on the floor. You can tell it. But they're going to figure it out. Just give them some time to figure it out. And to me, the best time to go through these growing pains is right now at the beginning of the season. Well, there's not much pressure on you right now. Just getting started. You can lose some games here and there. It don't matter right now. You just want to get it all figured out by the time April and May get. That's when you want to get it figured out. But they're going to be okay in the long run. Just take some time to figure it out. But you can tell you're missing Anthony Edwards right now. That's your engine from both sides of the ball. You need him. He's your guy. If you would have had him, hey, no telling how things would have been in this game. The game might would have possibly still been going back and forth. Who knows? But you can tell they need him though. And I can also tell you can miss that Nall not there either. I can tell he's not there either. I can just sense that presence too. But they're gonna be okay. They're gonna be fine if they figure some things out.
Friday's game, Joe, is in Memphis, playing John Morant, Triple J, and the rest of the Memphis Grizzlies. The thing is, we've seen great performance after great performance from Austin Reaves with Luka out of the lineup, with LeBron out of the lineup, and with the other Lakers out of the lineup. It just, what can they do when these guys come back? How can they sustain this kind of momentum and great play from Austin? What do they need to do to keep his confidence at this level, even if you're not going to get 40 or 50 or 28 and 16 like you did today?
I wouldn't. I would use what this guy's doing because it's going to help both Luka and LeBron, especially LeBron. So it's JJ Redick's job to make sure that he does that. And if there's any issue with that, then there's not going to be a good result. Austin Reaves packed on about 10 pounds this summer, by the way, of muscle. and he is playing for a 40. He is playing really for a max contract. Whether he gets it or not is not really the discussion, but he's playing for that. And he is teetering in that mid-30 and to the 40 number at this point. That's what he's playing for. I think that's probably his market in terms of timing and the way he's playing. What will determine that 100% really is going to be the end of the year performances. And that's something that I believe if he wants a better chance at doing that, he's got to be able to do what he's doing and be allowed to do what he's doing so that he has the best version of LeBron James in those games. Because LeBron James has come up lame the last few years because he is 41 or will be. And you need to preserve him. You need, if he's going to play like this, I would not let LeBron James play more than 30 minutes a game. And I would sit down with LeBron and say, LeBron, we have to. This is the one thing I actually wasn't against when Darvin Ham was trying to preserve him. And I couldn't understand why there was so much disdain for that. The point is you gotta keep him fresh for when it matters. So win these games, try to do well in the standings, at least get home court in the beginning of the year, beginning of the playoffs. And guys like Reaves, guys like Ayton now you have LaRavia, and God willing, hopefully Connect can finally connect and get back into the fold here. And then, of course, by the way, you have Luka Doncic as well. This is gotta be coached a certain way. And the players, including LeBron, have to understand this. I don't know why he wouldn't. I wouldn't understand why LeBron wouldn't. Because this also matters in the terms of him maybe having a chance at coming back. I've said on record, if the Lakers somehow won this year, that you bring him back, let him go for one more. But if you don't, if you crap out in the first round or second round, then at that point it's over. Because you can't keep paying a guy that's not going to be able to come through to win championships a top salary. You can't do that. And the issue with Austin, as good as he's playing, as well as he's playing, he still hasn't proven it in the biggest stage. So you can't allocate that big of an investment unless he shows up in those games. It's just he's teetering between 3 and 4 on a championship team. Even now, even with how he's playing now. It's just the reality of it, guys. Again, things get tight in the playoffs, and he hasn't yet proved it there. So he has to prove it, and a lot of that's going to come down to how JJ sets the stage for this 82-game season and how he can preserve LeBron James so that LeBron James can do LeBron James things when it matters most with Luka, with Reaves doing what he's doing, and hopefully the snipers on the side and Rui playing, and then, of course, DeAndre Ayton being in there. There's a lot of things that have to be a lot of luck in this damn thing now because you have to be healthy at the end of the year too, but you also want to make sure that everybody understands what they're supposed to do, and they need to create the identity. The identity needs to be this team can beat you, at least from what I've seen in the first 4 games. This team can beat you either with Luka and LeBron or without Luka and LeBron, and that is an identity. That means you have to still deal with the system. You have to deal with the fact that you can't stop everybody because everybody pulls their weight. Same thing that San Antonio did for years. That's why load management was created. People don't realize they blame it on Kawhi Leonard. It wasn't Kawhi Leonard. It was Greg Popovich that created load management. So this is where you are. Play it smart when the guys come back, and I would really appreciate LeBron James to understand it as well. I would like to think logic would work here, but you never know with LeBron James because he has feelings like a woman, and a lot of times logic doesn't work like that with that side, and that's a fact, guys. I've been around women my whole life, and sometimes logic is secondary.
Legend, when it comes to what you're seeing, again, as someone who is a fan of the Golden State Warriors and Atlanta Hawks, you're seeing this, though, and eyeing this because of the fact that you know what Reaves could possibly bring another team if they have the cap space to do so. And you've seen players as they in their, we call it their contract year, they cash in. We're seeing some players who did sign some big money. Like you're having an issue right now with a certain Dyson Daniels who did cash in and has not decided to join the Atlanta Hawks for this season currently, because I don't know who that is as far as in your starting lineup, but that certainly isn't the Dyson Daniels that I have known and seen for what's going on. Your thoughts on when you see these players play so well when their finances desire it the most?
That's the funniest thing about the NBA. When the contract time, I show out, I play ball, but once I sign a contract, all right, well, I got my money now. So it happens every time. Every time. It never fails. They always show up, show out when I need to get that contract. But once they sign the dotted line, they go back to being who they really is. It never fails. And it just, they do it every time. It kind of sad when they do that too, because it kind of be like, well, why did I sign you for all this money if I knew you're gonna do this anyway? But it happens every time. Everybody does it. I guess the only thing you really can do is pray that maybe that what I just saw is gonna continue and not just be a one-time thing and then revert back to old ways. Because that's what it look like what's going on with my boy in Atlanta. He got it checking. Yeah. We need to put an MIP out for him. He's missing in action right now.
And Jalen Johnson, again, you're having injury issues with him. It's just the same old story. He's the guy that's supposed to help you reach that next level as far as possibly being a superstar at some point in time. But, if he can't stay on the floor, Porzingis, same thing. These guys are key to your rotation. And you're seeing the residuals from a team that a lot of people were really high on coming into the season. Joe, again, when it comes right down to it, he's playing at an unbelievable level right now. We're asking if he can sustain it. I'm not asking for him to sustain that level of play because Luka coming back is going to make the Lakers even better as far as firepower is concerned. We're hearing that it possibly could be in a couple games. I'm still saying at this point, probably mid next week of the San Antonio game, because they have a back-to-back on Sunday and Monday after after Friday's game in Memphis. It could be sooner, but just the fact that Luka is around the corner, it gives the Lakers fans some hope as long as the Lakers stay right around 500 by the time he comes back. That should be a big boost once he does come back, because then you'll probably have Marcus Smart back there too.
Take advantage of what you've seen. I'm not really too concerned about the record right now. It's still early. What you got to understand is you got to understand to use what will preserve your second main commodity. Because no matter how much we talk about LeBron getting old, he's still valuable if they want to compete for a championship this year. He has value. And the only way that value can be used 100% is him to be less taxed. Basketball, NBA basketball, is an extremely hard sport. I mean, all these sports are hard. Football in the NFL, baseball in the Major League Baseball, hockey in the NHL. It is very hard. But the thing is with this sport is you have to also be born a certain way in most cases. You don't see a lot of 5'6", 5'7", 5'8" guys in the NBA anymore. It's just too hard. And even guys that are 6'2", 6'3", unless you're a freak like Steph Curry or Steve Nash, it's very hard to be a star. You got to be 6'4", 6'5", and up. And you got to be able to jump out the building. Unless you're someone like Austin Reaves. who has height, 6'5", but is so smart and so trained and has immense basketball IQ. That's how he covers up for a lot of that. But even with that, and we've seen this the last 2 years, he gets exploited by freak athletes. It's very hard to play in the NBA. And it's worse every round in the playoffs. You guys keep hearing me talk about something that we are 6 months away from. Because in the end, I'm going to enjoy the season. I'm going to remember this game as a very fun game. It was awesome seeing how everybody played, and I'll remember it, and I enjoyed it. And that's part of the season, is to enjoy the journey a little bit. And maybe it's something we could talk about if they're winning a title, right? And say, man, remember that game in Minnesota where it was kind of like, hey, man, no one's here but Austin had, I love that. We did that a lot during the championship years when the Lakers were playing Boston every Christmas, and when they were beating the Clippers, or they were beating Portland or whatever, right? And these kind of shape-shifting games in March or February. What you have to take from this time off, and this does not happen. What's happened the last 3 games does not happen unless Luka and LeBron are not playing. So learn from this. Use this as a silver lining on, wait a minute, I'm seeing something here. And they didn't play a crappy team. Yeah, Anthony Edwards wasn't playing, but this team is good. This team went to the Western Conference Finals 2 years in a row. And these guys had no business going into Minnesota, playing an 8:30, 8:40 game in Siberia. I used to call Minnesota Siberia. Now it's Charlotte and New Orleans. With the ability to deal with the outside stuff in Minnesota, right? And then go in and really punk these guys again. This is 2 games they've beaten Minnesota, 1 at home and 1 in Minnesota. That has to be used as fuel. And this scenario has to be used to your advantage now. Okay, LaRavia is somebody that you acquired this summer that you feel can make a difference. He can be that guy that can hit a shot, because LaRavia is a bit LaRavia. When Luka and LeBron come back and Reaves and Rui keep playing the way they're playing, you're going to see that lineup with him in there, because he's going to keep things honest. He's going to get open shots. And if he makes them on a regular basis, he's going to be a huge asset, because he's going to open up that paint if he's a threat.
JY, I just wanted to make mention, because you said it in the chat earlier, Austin Reaves is not currently eligible for an extension. He turned down a 4-year, $90 million contract offer by the Los Angeles Lakers. So in doing so, he is not eligible to receive another extension offer for the rest of the season. Now, remind you, he can become a free agent and most likely will opt out of the final year on his contract to become a free agent in the summer of 2026. But as of now, he is not currently eligible for an extension. Now, if he decided to opt in, he would probably be once again eligible for an extension. But yeah, as of now, for this rest of the season, he is not eligible for an extension. So you can't offer one him right now. So that is the clarification on that, because I know there's some incorrect information that you were provided right after that. But yeah, they cannot provide him with an extension offer right now. So I ask you, Legend, what do? I mean, with Trey, it's a little different, yet the same, because he's also could be a free agent at the end of the season, but they still have, I think, they haven't offered him an extension in Atlanta, period. So he still has an option if the team wishes to go ahead and do so. It's going to be interesting. Do they look at replacing Trey with an Austin Reaves? Is that a possibility that has come up? I know that Austin Reaves' name is now popping up at certain points in the league. We talked about on playback how Washington may have up to $100 million of free cap space this summer. And the first place they might look to start is getting a player like Austin Reaves. your thoughts on if Atlanta might lean themselves away from a Trae Young and decide to move into an Austin Reaves or someone else instead.
I wouldn't be surprised if they decide to look into it. I think what the Hawks are really going to do is look at how this season plays out and probably going to make that decision before the playoff even begin to know if you're going to continue the Trae Young era or kind of get ready to move beyond it. So I think that's what they're going to probably do, play this thing out first and then make that decision. But I would at least say it is best to just make the trade if that's what you're going to do instead of losing for nothing. Same thing I would say with Austin Reaves. If you talk to him and, I don't know, say if he'd be like, I can make $110 million if I go to Washington or whatever. If you feel like you know you're not going to be able to match it, go on and trade him. Don't lose him for nothing. So I feel like even for the Lakers, they're going to do the same with my Hawks. You're going to probably have to have that conversation, at least by the trade deadline point, and see what you're finna do. It's better than losing for nothing and then make it even worse. You lost a good player for nothing. So I think that's something you just got to do. By December and January, you got to have that conversation and see where you're going to go so you don't lose them for nothing. I think that's the biggest thing that would hurt any franchise. To lose a Trae Young or Austin Reaves for absolutely nothing would be devastating. That would be a disaster.
Joe, and let me bring it here to you again. Lakers win 116-115. They're now 3-2 on the season. Again, their next game is on Friday against Memphis. So go ahead and join us on playback, and then afterwards, the world famous postgame. Rui Hachimura, kind of a little bit different story. Okay, we have seen him in the teens consistently, Joe. 15, 16, 17, in and around that area. But with Luka out, I think we were hoping he would step up a little bit more and give you something more. Today, again, it didn't matter. He gave us just enough because Jake LaRavia and Dalton Connect picked up the slack for today. But are you surprised Rui has not taken maybe a larger step in the offense or been, like in multiple 20-point games or at least or something like that you have seen? Because I mean, it's been okay for Rui. It's just the thing is, when you have Luka and LeBron out, sometimes you need more than just okay. You need those players to take that next step and help you out a little bit more than what maybe they're giving you. It's worked out so far for the Lakers, but just wanted to note your thoughts on Rui so far.
But I don't really. Rui has a similar game than like Dalton Connect, LaRavia, and Rui kind of all have the same build and the same game to some degree, not completely, but they have. There's no balance. The balance is off when you don't have the regulars in there. And when you look at, let's say, when LeBron and Luka come back, you have LeBron who can play the 4. I think Rui can play the 3. Reeves is going to play the 2, and then Luka's the 1, and then DeAndre is the 5. You guys know how I feel about this. I would have preferred to have Reeves play off the bench with Marcus Smart at the 2 because it balanced things out. But Rui is better as a 3 with those guys versus playing with other 3s like Dalton Connect and LaRavia. I think it's too imbalanced. But Rui is who he is. He's going to give you what he's going to give you, and that's it. It's just he doesn't really make a lot of mistakes. He plays smart basketballs, and he gives as much as he can give. I don't really look at. He gave 17 tonight in 37 minutes. I mean, I don't know, and shot 50% from the field. I don't know what else. What else would we need? There's only one basketball too.
I mean, it looks great right now on as far as the stat line: 44% from 3, 63% overall shooting. Rebounds only 4 a game. Could like to see a little more there.
Use him.
16 and a half.
Another guy.
I just thought he'd be more aggressive, Joe. I just thought.
I don't think he's that guy, though. Yeah, I don't think he's that guy. I thought, again, his shot selection is usually not bad. If he's open, he usually is pretty good at making the shots. I like his mid-range game. I thought there was some shots he was making from the elbow that were really nice. He did well. I just didn't show up in the fourth. I think if he had shown up in the fourth a little bit, they may not have lost that lead as quickly as it did. But this is another lesson to learn, in that use Rui to preserve LeBron. You have Dalton Connect, you have Laravia, you have Austin Reaves, you have Rui Hachimura. You have 4 guys that you need to use. These guys are all young, mid-20s, a little bit over the mid, but pretty much right there, right? Austin's 27, right? So use these guys. Use them. And take advantage of what they're showing right now. And allow LeBron to be LeBron, but in 30 minutes. I think they can do this. LeBron has to be on board. Logic says he will, but I don't know. LeBron is a very weird guy too. Luka's going to go with the flow. He's a guy that a lot of the Slovenia guys, the Eastern Bloc guys, foreign guys usually are very good at listening to authority. That's kind of how they are. American players tend to kind of go off the cuff, and I'm not going to front. I have that kind of tendency too. However, in this case, it's about winning. Forget about all those tendencies. LeBron James needs to be preserved. That is option one right now for the 2025-2026 season of the LA Lakers. And you just saw the silver lining in having those guys not playing and seeing what these guys are capable of doing. They didn't go and beat Charlotte, by the way, guys. They didn't go beat New Orleans. This isn't a home win. They didn't beat the Kings either. They beat Minnesota. Yes, Anthony Edwards was out, but that's even when LeBron, and more than even, than when LeBron and Luka are not playing. This was an even field, and they came out and they busted them in the mouth at 8:40 at night in Minnesota. That says a lot to me. That says a lot. And the little details, we've talked about this how many years? The details, the simplest things were done right. If Laravia doesn't inbound that ball the way he inbounds it, and if DeAndre Ayton doesn't set that pick the way he did, if Austin Reaves doesn't notice that he's got yogurt on him and tricked him, knowing he could trick him, knowing we can get him going one side and coming back real quick, and then going and Minnesota allowing him, because they were so excited about Julius Randle. And I remember, again, it's hard to prove this, right? But this is what I was thinking. Randle had the ball. And the first thought I had was, because I thought maybe they might call a timeout. And I said, no, I don't think they're going to call a timeout. I think Julius Randle is going to score too early because he thinks he can burn the guy in front of him, which he did. I go, that's actually a bad idea. But he's not going to – it's better for him to put his head down and be a bull, right? That's his game. And he did it. And then they thought they were slick. They had a foul to give. But they gave that foul up, I think, a little too quick. I think they should have waited till it was like 4 seconds. So it was like little things like that. You know, it's funny when we talk about the little things, those things all matter in a game this close. Talent this close. So you build all that stuff, all those details, all those little things, and it came out to what? It came out to now you have the perfect bounce pass. I should say the perfect release with Reaves to be open. Laravia bounce pass right into Reaves' hands. Reaves assesses everything, not in a hurry, not panicking. DeAndre comes in. Reaves goes left. Yogurt, if you guys don't know what I'm talking about, I call Rudy Gobert yogurt. Overcompensates to the left or to the right, depending on where you're standing, and then opens up the lane. And then what do you give Austin Reaves? His patented shot. Floater in the paint. And it was a swish. This is what I'm talking about, guys. Basketball IQ, basketball execution. The details matter. The details matter. Phil Jackson, back in the day, used to make his guys, and I'm talking about Shaq and Kobe. I'm not talking about just, Smush Parker and Kwame Brown. I'm talking about the Kobes and the Oris, guys that have already won championships, right? He used to make them just go across the court with an invisible ball. Get your mind focused on the fundamentals. Don't worry about the ball right now. Worry about the fundamentals. Fundamentals still matter. And today you saw it. Or tonight.
Once again, it is the Lakers Fast Break. It is Joe Soro, a.k.a. the guy behind the Joe Soro Experiment on YouTube and the Joe Soro Experiment for playback. Please go ahead and support him on playback at the Joe Soro Experiment. Vari, Mark, Nick, Raphael, the whole gang is there. They'll be there for the Dodgers game in Toronto, hopefully, as the Dodgers will take and sweep the rest of the games to go ahead and pull on out. But before we head on out, Joe, I think I'm going to leave the last words for you on the Dodgers, because a great day for the Lakers. Again, when they had such a large lead by as much as 20, they did let it slip away, but they came back with the victory. All positive signs. Austin Reaves playing at a high level. The guys really helping, and the support was there today. It's all good for the Lakers right now as they head into Memphis. It's not all good for the Dodgers as they head into Toronto. I know Nibel is hoping for a rant, and Alfred Esmond in the chat. Truly great to have you here. We got to have actually another conversation soon, my friend, for some NBA observations with you. Joe said is the world's worst series he's ever watched, including that includes one of the best World Series games, in my opinion, I've ever seen in the 18 inning winner for the Dodgers. I'll ask this, Joe. I know Alfred said it's been disappointing for the Dodgers so far. Your thoughts before we head out on the Dodgers, my friend?
They're done. They can't score. Snell didn't have a bad game tonight. And really neither did Shohei. Shohei may have left some runners he left runners on base in the 7th inning, but he had only given up 1 run yesterday before they ambushed everything after that, which seems to be the ongoing theme whenever the pitcher gets out in the 6th or 7th inning. Could be age. Some of these players are burnt back-to-back. Baseball's very it's interesting. God, I didn't want to go into a rant tonight.
Thoughts on the rookie.
This is why I am this way. I want you guys to really focus on what I'm saying. The reason why I'm on fire 24/7. Well, not 24/7. When I'm not asleep, I'm not on fire. That's what sets me in balance, right? That's why I pass out basically every night. I have to hold in the fire. I have to hold it in. And I had to hold it in even more the last decade and a half because I had children. And I didn't want my children to adapt. Or I'm sorry, I didn't want my children to absorb the way I am. There's a lot of benefits in being who I am. I'm not going to lie. It keeps a lot of bad things away. But it's not good to live the way I live. I am a rarity in this, that my body can handle it. And my mind can handle it. Most people can't handle stress. They can't handle the heat for an extended period of time. They fall into having to drink. They fall into having to smoke something. They have to fall into going and talking to a shrink. I don't need any of that. And it's just how my body works, right? So when I get pissed off at people at how stupid they are, it's not because I'm reacting to what they're saying. I'm trying to explain to that person or persons that you talk out of your ass and you don't get called out for it enough. And most people don't, because most people don't really want confrontation. It's easy online because the cowards are behind the computer. They're behind the mic. They're behind the phone. And there's not enough. Mike Tyson's quote is always the one I use. None of you have gotten punched in the mouth for saying some of the shit that you're saying in hiding. And it's been made easier with social media, right? So that's really what it is. And in the end, ranting, entertainment has some entertainment value to it, obviously. And I enjoy doing it sometimes, and sometimes I don't. I have done shows even recently where I do the rant and I hate it. I don't even listen to the show. I don't even want to listen to my own voice sometimes because even I get irritated by myself. But in the end, it's done me better than it hasn't. So anyways, the Dodgers right now seem to be cooked. They seem to be the comparison I have in my the first thing that popped in my head is they looked like the 1991 Detroit Pistons when they were about to get beat by the Bulls. They're just taxed. And winning, and this is the button on this, these asshole idiot morons, when they see something and they say, oh, well, it's because they've spent all this money. If you knew anything about baseball and you weren't a fucking idiot, okay, you would know that this is the one sport that's actually got more parity than any sport, more than football. And football has an official hard cap. It's not a pseudo hard cap like it is in the NBA now. Hockey's hockey. They don't really have as much money to do things like all the other sports. Stupid loser mentality. Stupid, I mean, just pathetic, ignorant, moron idiots. Look what you're seeing right now with the Dodgers. This is why you don't have a repeat champion, at least for right now, for the last 25 years. No matter if it's 300 million, no matter if it's 100 million, baseball is tough and it wears you out. So shut the hell up about money. Most of the champions the last 25 years, most of them, go look at it, were in the 6, 8, 12, 4, 2. I think there was only like 5 teams since 2000 where it was the number 1 payroll. The Dodgers were the number 3 payroll last year when they won, by the way. Toronto's a 5 payroll. Are you going to bitch and whine about that if they win? So it's a lesson to you wanted to rant a little bit? Here, that's my rant. They're running out of gas. It finally caught up to them. And they're going to have to dig deep. Because the problem now is, even if Yamamoto pitches a gem and they win game 6, they have to go into game 7 with Tyler Glasnow. And Glasnow can only go 6. He's not going to go 8 and 9. He's only going to go 6. What are you going to do in the next 3 innings, especially when you're not hitting? So blame Roberts all you want. Blame Friedman. I think if you blame Roberts and you blame Friedman, I don't think you're really understanding what's been going on. This is not on Roberts and this is not on Friedman. Friedman did everything possible in the offseason to have this team fully equipped. He did not pencil in, whether it's analytics or not, that Mookie Betts would go 2 for 400, that Pajes would go 2 for 50, that Muncy would go 1 for 80, that Edman would be swinging at nothing all game. Every single player other than maybe Ohtani and Freddie Freeman have hit. And even those guys have been neutralized because no one's helping them. There's no pressure to pitch to Ohtani in the last 2 games because they know the other guys can't hit. Learn how to understand stuff before you open your shithole.
So we'll leave Eric, how you doing? And who would have thought Tanner Scott would have been so bad that they left him off the roster? Eric was saying that on Twitch. Key mistake or just Tanner's?
No, I mean, it's not out of the realm that this happens to starting pitchers too. If you look at Randy Johnson's career towards the end, he'd have 2 good seasons, a bad season, a good season, another bad season. Pitching is very difficult, right? And even relief pitchers have that issue. They'll roll into a really bad season and then a really good season. You can't sit there and blame Andrew Friedman and Dave Roberts for these guys not being able to hit, not being able to pitch. I mean, there's only so much you can blame Roberts for wasting some of these games, and maybe that cost them. That cost them home field. But they're not hitting in Toronto, and they're not hitting at home. So you can't even blame them for that anymore. You win game 3 in a thriller. You have to win the next one of 2 games. You go to Toronto in game 6 with their number 1 guy to finish this off. That would have been exactly how it's supposed to play out. But now they have to win that game and then win another game. And you're already sucking in hitting. How the hell are you going to do it? Glasnow's not going to go beyond 6. He will not. That means you have to pitch God knows who in 7, 8, and 9. Oh, and you're not hitting. So that means you got to make sure that you got to get lucky in Toronto with a guy that gets flustered off of one bad thing in Glasnow. You have to hope he doesn't allow any runs through 6, which is not going to happen. So you're going to have to play. You're going to have to score 7, 8 runs if you win game 6 in game 7 to probably win that game. And they have shown none of that. They have not been able to show that skill set really since the Cincinnati series, the wild card series, which I don't even count the wild card as a playoff. I'm sorry, I don't. It's kind of like the play-in in the NBA. The Dodgers' funeral is likely coming Friday. It's likely coming Friday. I don't think they can hit anymore. I think they're dead. I think a game 7 loss would be worse. I'd rather let them lose in 6.
Well, we will see what happens. But for all the action Dodgers way on Friday and maybe Saturday, go ahead and join Vari, Joe, and the entire crew at the Joe Sorrell Experiment. That's actually the Joe Sorrell Experiment there.
I have the worst feed at my house right now. Even
Really?
the NBA games are bad. I used to be able to be ahead of the game on playback when the Laker game was on Sportsnet. It would be behind on TNT, and I think a lot of that has to do with the fact that they try to get ahead of it a little bit on the major channels because they want to be able to stop maybe cursing or whatever. But I can't watch on playback half the time because they're 40, 50 seconds ahead, and I cannot keep looking at my phone all like for another 3 hours. I can't do it anymore. I can't. I'm on my phone all day doing business. I can't do it watching sports as well. So I have to pick my battles on that.
But we'll pick the battles for the Lakers, and their next battle is in Memphis, coming up on Friday as well. So while you're watching the game, as far as the World Series on the Joe Sorrell Experiment channel, go ahead and make sure you hop on over to the Lakers on Friday as well. It's going to be an Amazon game, guys, just to let you know. If you're out and about, it will be on Amazon Prime. Otherwise, try to catch it with us on playback.tv.
I'll be in Arizona the whole weekend. I don't know if I'll be on the show at any time. I doubt it because it's Halloween night and we're going to be out, but I'll chime in on the chat.
What are you going as for Halloween?
No idea. I'm going to find out tomorrow when I get there.
Okay. Your Rob Pelinka mask, though, is the stuff of legend.
Yes.
Do you still have it in the drawer?
I got rid of the picture, but I can reprint it. I know what picture it was. It was it was a picture that Lakers ball had in one of their gifts that I blew up. I mean, it's online too. The only difference is in the gift there's a mouth speaking. So I always thought it was a funny gif.
But if you guys remember on the Wayback Machine for us, yes, one
I have
Halloween
been the Punisher. Sorry, Gerald. Kurt, I've been the Punisher before. Maybe I'll bring it back. Maybe that might work.
I don't know what I'm going to do if I'm going to do anything on Halloween. I've done the clown before twice. You guys said John Wayne Gacy, and I think I lost all interest in doing another clown. Even though I still have the wig and stuff over here.
Pogo the clown? You would Pogo the clown?
No, you guys called me John Wayne Gacy, and I just think, you know what? I think I'm done dressing like a clown. Yeah, it's like, I don't know if it was Kurt that said it, but somebody said it in the chat. I was like, I'm done.
I watched. There was a few years back they were showing all the Dahmer and Gacy stuff on Netflix, and I watched a 5-part series of that whole process. It's mind-boggling to me how long that piece of shit lasted without getting destroyed. And it goes to show you, man, that it was that perfect time around the shift of society, I think, right around that 70s time after Vietnam. It's just weird that it all started happening right around that. Like, that was also the Ted Bundy time and all that.
Yeah,
and I couldn't figure. It's a sad story about all that stuff. How I couldn't figure out how no one could identify the smells. That's the thing that just killed me about the Dahmer and Gacy stories. How do you not be able to know the smell of death and not say something? Did I ever tell you that the incident when I went back home? I was going to a bar in my hometown. So Turlock, California is a dairy town, or at least it was. So it's a small town. It's only got like 100,000 people in it, right? Maybe, not even that. I think it's like 80. It used to be 14 when my parents moved there when I was 2. So we get out of the car. We're parked kind of maybe a block away from a place called Staley's in Turlock. It's like one of the bars that people like to go to over there because it's a small town. I got out of the car and I'm like, and I'm used to smells in that town because of the cows, right?
Yeah.
I'm like, what the hell's that smell? This is like 15 years ago. Might have been longer, maybe 18 years ago, right? And I'm walking towards Staley's, and it gets worse. It keeps getting worse and worse and worse. And I'm like, you guys smell that? What is that? We go in the bar, and I'm like, what the is in here? And everybody in the bar, it's this hallway of a bar. And I'm like, everybody's drinking, having a good time. What did they? Not a single asshole in that place gave 2 shits about the smell. Not one. Fast forward to the next day. There was a dead body for 3 days upstairs. The guy, I think, died of a heart attack or some shit. And I'm like, I left. Like, I got into the bar. I'm like, dude, this smell is bad. This doesn't smell like crap. Dog crap, cow crap. I'm like, dude, this is bad. This is really bad. Got out. And the next day found out, oh, yeah, they found a dead body upstairs who had died of a heart attack. I'm like, Jesus, did anybody give a shit about this guy? 3 days? Yeah. I mean, if I had lived there, I'm sorry, if I had worked there, I think I would have figured it out after about an hour. Like, dude, this smell is bad. What the hell is going on here? Totally oblivious. And it also taught me something else, too. It taught me how clueless human beings are, too. Their awareness, their surrounding awareness. Just this last few weeks, man, there was a lady coming out of a parking spot. She didn't even look to the right. She's in a parking lot. She didn't even look. And I'm like sitting there, I'm like, this dumb idiot, if I was driving fast right now, I would T-bone her. She'd be flying over there. Didn't even see me. Didn't even look. Clueless. Don't be clueless, guys. Get on when you're on the road. Pay the hell attention. All it takes is this, and you're dead. Or you're dead in a upstairs bar, rotting with no one giving a shit.
And on that note,
You got, hey,
is, of
look,
course, the Lakers win.
you got, look, you all asked me to be here after the Game 3 game. You had somebody ask for a rant. If you're if you're gonna do this, if you're gonna be an entertainer, Michael Jordan just said this. He just said it. I played all 82 games because I wanted to shut up that guy up there, or I wanted to show the other guy that was cheering for me that one time that he might be at that game. I wanted to show him how good it was. When the audience wants to hear what they want, you have to give it to them. That's a fact. It builds over time. Give the audience what they want. When you're an entertainer, the audience wants what they want. You give it to them. That's how it works.
And on that note, it is, of course, the Lakers Fast Break. We'll be back on Friday to go ahead and play for you on playback for the simulcast as well on YouTube of the Lakers at Memphis. Don't forget, it's on Amazon Prime, or you can stop by playback.tv/Lakers Fast Break. Don't forget Joe's channel, playback.tv/the Joe Soro Experiment. Rooting for the Dodgers, hoping they can still get it done. We'll see what happens there. Want to give a big shout out again to my good friend Drip Show at Drip Show Shop on Instagram and Twitter. Please follow him today. And also, if you want a great design, look at Joe's hat right there. Drip Show. Look at the quality of that hat right there. Look at the quality of the stuff that he has sent me. Look at this. Look at this. Absolutely exquisite. And if you want something like that as a holiday gift, or if you know someone that would like that, as far as maybe a Taylor Swift, a K-pop fan, or something, just some type of, Joe, he doesn't do just Lakers and Dodgers. He gets requests to do a whole bunch of stuff.
Forget about the merch. Forget about merch. Chris is one of the coolest people ever. And I've only known him for like one day in terms of being with him together, like in person. And we communicate through text message because he lives in Arizona and I live here, obviously, in California. He's just a good dude and very talented. Good people and talented people need to be supported. They need to be championed. I know I suffer from not being a good dude. I'm not a good dude sometimes. I'm very vicious and I'm very, very upfront to the point where it destroys a room. And I know this. He's not one of those guys. He's one of those guys that's good to people. He's cool and collective and even keeled. It's just, that's the balance. That's the balance in the world. That when you have people like that, those people need to be protected and supported and told that you are the reason why things will always be okay. And that's a fact.
Also, as well, don't forget, I finished this book. It's a tremendous book, especially behind the scenes of the Los Angeles Lakers. All the stuff that Joe and I have ranted on for years, it gets put out there in all of its glory. This is the book that the Lakers don't want you to read. They threatened at one time legal action on Yaron Weitzman. I have a great interview on the channel with him, but don't forget his book, which is the #1 sports selling book right now on Amazon, and right there, the New York Times bestseller list right there for sports books. A Hollywood Ending, The Dreams and Drama of the LeBron Lakers right there for you. Really good book indeed. So for Joe Soro, it's Gerald Glassford. Thanks again for watching, listening. Truly appreciate it. Don't also forget that on Friday, I'll be dropping a new episode of the Pop Culture Cosmos as well, where we're covering the state of pro wrestling. Looking forward to showing that to you guys as well. Or if you want to take a sneak peek, it's right away for you right now on Pop Culture Cosmos on YouTube. Joe Soro, Gerald Glassford, thanks again for watching, listening. We'll be back on Friday on playback and also as well on YouTube right here for the Dodgers and the Lakers right here at the Lakers Fast Break Podcast.
Yeah.